Proud Iyrossi, who have traveled far and wide to come here on this moonlit night, won't you gather round and hear the tale of our people? Many centuries ago, before this land was called Malkois, we Iyrossi ruled Mittadun. Mittadun, yes, that was its name. A land of great marbled mountains, fertile valleys, rugged crags, and fearsome beasts. It was here we took root, and with our strength of arms conquered this place, placing great heads and hides high on our halls besides our splendid wealth, earned with the same arms from whoever we wished, subjugating all who dared oppose us. Our great raiders marching proud under the sun, their flesh shining with the sweat of battle's anticipation. Their bloodied bodies cheered as they returned with their spoils. Many were their deeds, and great were the tales we told in their honor, our reverence given up to the gods who granted us strength and prosperity, and their voices close to our hearts in all things. Truly, we were a blessed people, but then came men of the sea. From far-off islands they landed ashore and conquered, driving the native peoples out or crushing them underfoot and demanding they call themselves Aversarian. The Aversarian. How it rides in my mouth after all these centuries still. While they took the lands to the south and west, we remained in our hills and mountains, raiding, prospering, and giving thanks to the gods of hearth and home as was our due. Long was our line of kings, uniter of tribes, but their greatness ended with King Pothocleus, the so-called last Iyrossi. I look upon you great number gathered here and can't help but laugh. Surely Pothocleus himself would have done the same, for who could consider such a host the last of anything? Yet Pothocleus was great. Of this there is no denial. When the wretched Aversarians called us barbarians and demanded retribution for our ancestral ways, our raids upon their people, so they said, we refused their lies, took to the hills, and there waged a great war. Many times they came with great force, and many times Pothocleus and his kin drove them out with skill and cunning. For every one of us who fell, 10 of theirs cried their last. Our men relishing in the blood and spoils of the liars and snakes of the west, but no mountain can withstand the sea forever. And in time our gods turned their gaze from us, or surely they must have, for 1,114 years ago we were defeated, and for it we have suffered. But it was there upon the field of our defeat Pothocleus proved his worth, for at the bargaining table he offered himself as tribute, and though he died and we were made slaves eternal, he saved us from extinction. So came the Deathodiaxian laws, named for she who defeated us, but also who saved our king's last children, smuggled them into the mountains that they may live on. I look upon you now, young Cyrus, and see with joy that this was at least done for our long-doomed kind, that the gods did not abandon us wholly in their love. But our pain ended not with our conquest. Our great capital, To Petithipsi, the sorrow fields it is now known, was laid to ruin. Even in victory, the Aversarians wanted retribution for their humiliation, and there, on those horrific fields, their magi gathered in force, tearing our great city from the roots, suspending our women and children and those who rallied to its defense in their final moments of anguish forever. There they remained still, locked in deadly stasis, a terrible reminder of our loss, our history, our ancestry cut off from us forever in a field of great magic. For, as many of you know, to approach the sorrow field now is to suffer an instant death, so we must look on and let the rage of it boil within and keep the fire of our revolution ablaze. Like those chained before and after us, the Aversarian and their whips demanded we assimilate, speak as they do, worship as they do, and forget our past. Our texts were banned, our faith bastardized and picked apart like carrion to be added to their agiocrata, and our speakers slaughtered. Only by the resilience of our great stock have these legends and our rituals come to us now, though many of our gods have we forgotten in all but Aversarian tongue. Many, but not great Diaphatoros, god of justice, who we revere most of all. His vengeance, our vengeance, we once wrote in blood but now keep in words close to heart. The hour of its promising fire close at hand. The revenge killing, our most sacred rite, will spread far, far as the Aversarian dog can run. For over 1,000 years we have waited for the Aversarian dragon to slumber, or succumb to its greed, soothing its wounds and tending to its coin, bowing to its whims and kissing its filthy feet while our people toiled in the fields and died in the salt and gold mines of those wretched fiends, their whips bloodying our noble backs and our children slaughtered for their amusement. All this we endured, false eunuchs of civility and gratitude for our meager existences. All this we did so our vast network could grow. With careful planning we have learned and seen much. Yet for some the rage of Diaphatoros became too great in their hearts, and they rose up too soon, only for the iron fist of the purest to smite them down. Still, on the fringes in the far-off and hard-to-reach villages of the cliffs and mountains where we now stand we have endured, our great arms readying for the day of our inevitable rise. And when that moment came, as those great magi, or so they call themselves, Aeshrace and Axiothea, turned their pitiful empire upside down with their war, we moved to strike. Rising from the mines and fields, we broke our chains, bashed the skulls of our unaware guards and enslavers, and fled here to our mountain stronghold. With the wretched beasts assailed by the migrating Selvoki who dogged them to the fringes of their former empire, our former lands sit ripe for the taking. Here we begin our conquest of our land most beloved. Here we retake the Iyrossi basin. I look out and see that many among you are bloodied. Thrice or more have you killed Aversarians, and many are the runes you honor your arms with this great deed. Your quivers bristling with arrows of just revenge. I look upon you too, young Cyrus, last of our noble line, your kin slaughtered by that terrible Garassus, the drinker of skulls. For too long was your true nature unknown to you. For too long did you march as battle magi in those legions. But be it fate or the gods, you ran from their hopeless fields of toil and made your way here to us, your people, and we have rallied to your call. And so I say, rise, ye bloodbound. It is time to make good of your pacts with Diaphotoros and return the kingdom that was stolen from us. The vengeance you swore to He on high, and He who stands here now demands the blood of thousands, millions. Let none escape our flames, our blades, and our fury. Let their children weep as we crush their mothers and fathers and reduce their cities to ash. Let the chains we once bore crush the wind from their very lungs. Let none who squat in this valley ever doubt our rage. Let the bodies pile high on the borders, rotting under the sun, for all to bear witness as we have for centuries borne witness to the fall of our once noble people. Let us erect a new capital in the slave pits of Tetrovnadzirus, and there build mighty walls from which we will rush like a terrible wave of living death to rival the very fog itself. Yes, great Iyrossi! The time has come at last to run down from the mountains, bathe our valleys with blood, and erase the Aversarian from these lands forever. For 1,000 years we did suffer, but they could not break us. Now we await your command, young Cyrus, for we will gladly die for your coming kingdom. O mighty Iyrossi, now is the hour of our salvation. Now is the time for vengeance.